Okay, so next we're going to take a look at a string program. In particular, in this case, we're going to teach you how to spell. Well, maybe not quite. Actually, what we're going to do is write a program which will take a noun and change it into the plural form. So let's take a look at the block diagram for that. Okay, so the basic idea is if the noun ends in Y, we're going to remove the Y and add IES. If it ends in S, CH, or SH, we're going to add ES. Otherwise, we'll just add an S. This is a block diagram of how we intend to do that. First of all, we'll copy the last two letters into an array called end, and then we'll say, is word length minus 1 equal to Y? This would be the very last word in the array. Remember that the indexes go from 0 to length minus 1 if the length is 1. So if that is equal to Y, then we'll delete the Y and add IES, and then go down here. If the last letter is not Y, we'll check and see if the last letter is S. If it is, we'll add ES and then go down here. If it's not, then we'll check to see if end, remember that was up here, is equal to CH or SH. If it is, we'll add ES. If it's not, then we'll just add an S and then again go down here. Okay, so here I've taken and written the program then. You can see that what this does as a whole is take nouns as input and form their plurals. So we've included the necessary libraries, defined max underscore length as equal to 20, that'll be the length of our arrays, and sent equal to exit. Now sent stands for sentinel. That's what we're going to look for when we want to finish this thing. So here's the prototype for our function, which is called star pluralize. Notice this is a star in front of the name, which means that it's going to return a pointer, and that'll be a pointer to an array. Here we have our output, which is a pointer to plural, and then our input, which is identified by the constant here, which is a pointer to noun. Now we come into our main program, int main void. Here we define noun and plural, each 20 elements long, and integer I. We're then going to print out a message, enter sentinel value to quit, and then say enter a singular noun to be put into plural form, and then go into a for loop, which is going to stay in there as long as we're looking at new nouns. And we can see that has, here we're scanning in something into noun. Here we're comparing noun to the sentinel, so the thing that we've scanned in, we're trying to see if it's equal to exit or not. If it is, then we're going to quit. And notice how this works with string compare. We actually compare this to that. If they're equal, this will be equal to 0. If not equal, it'll be not equal to 0. So we'll know that we still need to stay in the loop under those conditions. And here, this is our update. Again, we scan in a new value of noun. We then call pluralize with noun as the input and plural as the output, and then print out both noun and plural. And then again, we have to enter this print statement since the previous time it was outside of the loop. So we'll stay in this loop doing nouns until we end up getting to exit. Let's take a look at the function itself then. Here we define this end array, which has 3 elements in it. That has room for the last 2 characters in the noun plus a null character. We also define an integer as last, and then last is equal to the string length of noun. So that'll take the number of characters into noun and put it into last. We then look at string copy, where we're going to take the last 2 letters of noun and put that into n. Notice this says find the address of noun last minus 2. So that takes the address of the beginning of those last 2 characters, puts it into end, Note that because this is string copy, it will automatically end or add the null character to the end of this. So we end up with end having two characters and the end character. Now then, we look at the very last character here, and if it's equal to y, then we're going to do a string end copy where we take everything except for the last character. This tells us the number of characters to move from noun until to plural. And then because this is string end copy, the end character is not automatically added, so we have to add that /0 to the end. So here we take IES and we're going to put it into plural after the last letter and before the null character, which is already there. So it'll put it automatically in the right place. Alright, well, if the last letter is not Y, we're going to go down here and then check for these three different things. Is the last character equal to S? Do we have CH stored in end? Notice that compares the two, and if they're equal, then this whole thing will be true. And then we check to see if SH is in end. So if any of these three things happen, what we do is copy noun into plural, and then using string cat, we add es to the end of it. Now if none of those things are true, then we're just going to go down here and add the s. So we put noun into plural, and then using string cat, we add the s to the plural. And remember, in both of these two cases, the last character, the null character, is added automatically. Then of course we return here, and notice that we're returning plural, which is an array. Actually, we return the address of that array to the main program. Now let's go ahead and compile, or let's go ahead and run this. It's already been compiled. We'll go to debug, start without debugging, and here we go. It says enter a singular noun to be put into plural form. Okay, so first let's try book. Get books, then ranch. Get ranches. Berry. I get berries. Brush. I get brushes. And finally exit, and it quits. So we see that everything works.